I'm worried about the epidemic.
You see this Honest Bunch podcast? Our fathers and our mothers need to watch this video because this video go open our eyes to a whole lot of things where most of our children they pass through for Nigeria. My correct lovers of gist, welcome back to another important video. So recently, our popular female preacher Re.Christie Bature for Honest Bunch debunked some shocking habits where they affect our younger generation for Nigeria. According to her, she talks say make our parents they discipline their children so that make them not bring shame tomorrow. The question where many of us they ask we say who they bring these things they come Nigeria. Anyways, make it not be say they talk too much. Make I leave on and make una watch the video so that more for come back and continue the conversation after this video.
I'm worried about the epidemic.
That's the word.
That is going to be worse than coronavirus. The age of addiction as at 15 years ago was 16. Now is 9.
Ha!
Yes, sir. They're bringing them to the rehab. They're calling me from nations of the world. We have a 13-year-old. We have a 12-year-old. We have a 9-year-old. So it's a combination of many things that has brought us to this place. Is the prevalence of substances, the availability. I mean, before, if you were looking for a substance, you go to dark, quiet places, far places that you'd be scared. Now they're offering it to you in traffic. Oh yes, in traffic. If you know the signs with the fingers, those guys selling newspaper, water.
They have it.
Please give us the signs so that we can know if our children.
It depends on where you are. Depends on where you are and the code that controls that area. But there are ways to just make it known. I need something, Porn, if you wanted porn in the past, you had to go to video club and go to the back of the shop. It's on your fingertip now. My one of my boys, one of my sons was 4. I came home one day and he said to me, "Mommy, I was on Children's Channel and something bad just popped up." I said, "What do you mean by bad?" He put his little head down and said, "Mommy, very bad." Immediately, as he was saying it, I was praying. And the Holy Spirit said to me, "It's porn." So I said to him, "Was it a man and a woman?" He said, "Yes." He said, "But mommy, there was no X for me to click so that it will go." So you see, this is how Satan sets the hook. It's a bait. He said there was no X, so the child is forced to look at. I said, "So what did you do?" He said, "Mommy, I switched off the computer from the wall." I said, "Very good." So I knew Satan is trying to open the sexual doorways too soon. So I sat 4. I sat him down and I spoke to him, explained at his age. Now, one of the things parents must do is to find appropriate language for age grades to speak about these things. From age 2, a child's learning capacity is amazing. Amazing. They go to school one day, they come back, kindergarten. A is for apple, B is for boy. They've learned it already in one day. And parents are there saying, "It's just a child, he doesn't know anything, he cannot learn anything." Don't do that. By age 5, 6 marks, a child's personality is formed. So those ages are so critical that parents need to pay attention. It's not like before. The world is not as innocent as it was before. And the world is also not as forgiving and kind to itself, to the inhabitants of the world like before. There are predators all over the place, and they are going after whoever their catchment area is. So I spoke to him and explained about porn and why it's not healthy and all. When he was 9, I came back from work again. And he came, he said, "Mom, do you remember that thing that happened when I was a baby?" I said, he said, "It happened again today. Something popped up again." I said, "You know what to do already now." He said, "Yes, Mommy, but today I'm sad." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because today I looked." So the hook that Satan set at age 4 was waiting. Now at age 9, he's triggering. See, this brain is one of the most scary things God gave us. In the study of the human brain now, they discovered, okay, so every computer in the world, no matter how sophisticated now, can only perform in 2 positions, 0 or 1.
Binary.
Off or on, binary. But in the study of the human brain, they have found at least 56 different permutations under which the human brain will operate, meaning that the human brain's capacity is 23 times more sophisticated than any computer in existence. So its capacity to photograph memories, compartmentalize them, is very scary. So a memory can sit dormant for 10 years and a smell triggers it. An environment triggers it.
Nostalgia.
A person, nostalgia, triggers it. So parents have to become more proactive in protecting the minds of children. All right, so the problem is big, sir. It's very big.
You see.
There are predators, there are corrupt leaders. Let me give you an example. We some years ago, Nigerian government and United Nations Office on Drug and Crime decided to collaborate to try and put a number to drug users in Nigeria with statistics. So they appointed entities in every state across the nation to carry out the survey. So whereas we used to sit in the rehab and they'll bring patients, now we had to go to the bunks to conduct the surveys. I'm very sure if they tested all of us that time, would have been called drug addicts, because as you are interviewing them, they are blowing the smoke in your face and you are inhaling and you can't walk away because you are doing a survey. We got to one of the areas in Port Harcourt they call Abuja. And while conducting the interviews, there were guys that periodically would pass well-dressed. You can tell that everything they're wearing is designer from head to toe. And they're carrying expensive briefcases. And they're walking in. They will not let us go inside the bunk. We sit at the door and the people that are willing to do interview will come out and meet us. They will pass. And at a point, I said to one of them, these are the heavy buyers, Abi. This one. He said, no, those are the dealers. I said, why do they look so clean? He said, they have a code. You don't feed on the merchandise. They don't touch it, but they sell it.
Never get high on
On your own supply.
So he said, those are the dealers, looking like they could be bank executives. So I said, so how? And the young man that was talking to us, his father was once a commissioner in Rivers State. He said to us, the reason the drugs are available is because the government funds and what's the word? Facilitates the movement of the drugs. They're the ones that clear it at the docks. They ship them, and some government officials clear it in the docks, and then distribution takes place. He said that's why, one of the major reasons why we can't stop the spread of the drugs in the country. So, and he himself was living in the bunk.
Mommy, I was going to ask, before you said what you said now about the government, I was going to ask you, who should we hold responsible for this thing that's happening? Because is it family? I mean, you just mentioned
it's
government,
a combination.
But the family is like the primary point of existence,
exactly.
Right? So who should we hold responsible? Is it the family or?
Everybody. There's no single person that we can lay the blame on. I'm sure there's some things your mom beat you over. And every time you saw it, you remember the beating.
I still did some of them when I grew up.
Okay. I know, but there was some you stayed away from because you remember.
Yes.
These days, the slackening of discipline in the home is sad.
It's another thing.
It's very sad. Children are allowed to do just anything. And
they're allowed to have opinions.
Yes. I speak about the parent-centered home, the child-centered home, and the God-centered home. The parent-centered home is where the child has no voice, no opinions. Just shut up. We have said what we have said and you must do it. The child-centered home is where the children get away with anything. The parents, later in life, the parents become afraid of their children. Oh, they bring them to the rehab. I see parents cowering at their children. And the children, that's a high. To rage and charge at your parents until they back down. It's a form of high they get to, like the cocaine. And I see parents shaking. I beat their children, no, for them. I help them to beat some. I said, no, this person is mad. A woman brought me a 29-year-old. And every week she will come and pack his clothes to go and wash. Wow. I said, what are you doing? She said, he does not know how to wash. I said, if I see you here again.
At 29.
Don't come to this rehab again. You are a problem. Stay away. I say, hey, take those clothes and wash them. As I said, go and wash those clothes. Or there's no food for you for 2 days. By the time he left, he wasn't only an expert washer. He was also an expert ironer. The mother couldn't believe it. I don't want to call the name, but she was calling me like, you can wash? I said, look at you, 29. You're washing his clothes. Are you well? So these are some of the things that have created these human beings that have low-level tolerance for stress.
As a reverend, remain. Do you think that addiction could be a spiritual challenge or even a generational curse?
Do I think that addiction could be a spiritual thing? Addiction is two sides of a coin.
Okay.
Nobody wakes up and becomes an addict overnight. The Bible says, who by reason of use have the senses exercised. His practice makes perfect. So whatever you practice, you become perfect at it. So on one side of the coin, addiction is a learned behavior. Nobody starts smoking cocaine and carries a whole bottle and sniffs it or a whole line. You will die. Your brain can't handle that at a go. So you start little by little and you keep upping the quantity. So that's a habit forming on one side of the coin. The other side of the coin, undeniably, is that addiction is also demonically energized. How do I know? The devil has one ministry: to steal, to kill, and to destroy. If you look at the life of the addict, two are already ongoing because ultimately he's headed to the place where he will kill the person. So he's stealing every asset, stealing relationships, killing connections with people. You said family was about to give up.
Yeah.
Go live on the street. That's he has stolen the connection that person has with the family. And ultimately they die. So it's demonically energized. So if you're going to deal with addiction, you can't face one and leave the other. You'll be wasting your time. It's part of the reason secular rehabs fail, because they're dealing with just the habit. But we have demons that don't die. And they're waiting for opportunity to trigger the person again. But then the church also, on the other hand, wants the quick fix. I bind you, devil. Go. The devil will go, but Jesus said it's for a season. He will come back. And Jesus said, if he comes back and he finds nothing there, he's going to bring 7 more wicked than he. And the end of that man is worse than his beginning. So what is Jesus hoping the demon can find there that will prevent him from bringing 7? It's simply this: information. The Bible doesn't say that my people perish for lack of power. It's for lack of information. So if you give that addict information, if the devil comes back, the guy has some form of resistance. Oh boy, I don't want to live like that again. I'll give you another example. So this man comes to our rehab and he's like, my son was deported from Malaysia and he's very big guy like him, like this tall and this big. So he said he's in a particular rehab, but nothing is happening there. He's not doing well. He has beaten all the guards there. He fights everybody. And I'm looking at your system. I don't think you can handle him here. But they said this is a good place to be. I like your environment. The other environment is not so good. I said, go and bring him. He said, ma, you can't handle my son. I said, sir, go and bring him. So he went. They brought him with 2 armed guards. Yeah. 2 guys with guns. They put him in the middle and drove him to our place. So he came in. And he came in and he sat down. So I said to the father, please excuse us. This is a private conversation. He said, ma, no, I cannot leave you alone with him. Hey, what if he attacks you? So I said to the father, he's not mad. Why will he attack me? Please go. You cannot be here for this conversation. He's an adult. They told me that the man came out of my office and
Went
stood
to
at
the
the door.
window.
He didn't go and sit in the waiting area. He stood by my door. So I said to him, hello, do you think you can trust me and tell me what you take? The boy counted like 6 different
Cocktail.
substances that he was, he had a cocktail of them that he was taking. And I said to him, would you permit me to show you something? He said, yes. So I put on my computer. And I brought up 3D images of human brain on different substances. I brought up the ones that were taking what he was taking. And I showed him the physical damage that was happening in his brain. I said, you are taking 6. I said, combine the 6 brains and tell me after a little while if anything will be left of your brain. He sat up. He said, Ma, are you saying that this is happening in my brain right now? I said, yeah, it's a matter of time. When enough brain matter has been eroded, the next thing you experience is psychosis. He said, Ma, help me. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I said, okay, so will you stay? He said, show me my room. So I called one of my staff. I said, take him upstairs, show him where he'll be staying. They took him upstairs. He went upstairs, came back, sat down. He said, tell my dad if he wants me to spend 4 months here, I will stay.
Wow.
So I told his father, go. He said he will stay. The father said, He said what? I said he said he will stay. So the father left. So we're watching this boy. 1 day, 5 days. He was the most compliant patient we had. Go to bed at 9. He's going. He doesn't need reminding. It's time for food. He's sitting down. It's time for therapy. He's sitting down. So I called him. I said, come, your dad said many things about you when they were bringing you. Was he lying? He said, no. He was not lying, no. I said, did you actually beat up the guards in the other place? He said, yeah, I did. I said, why? I said, why haven't you done those things here? He said, why do I want to do that here? He said, the first day I came here, my dad called me a madman. The first thing you said was, he's not mad.
Oh.
The second thing you did was you engaged my mind and showed me what was going on. He said in the other place, it's dirty mattresses on the floor and you are left to your own devices. Even if your parents bring you book, because there's nothing else to do, in 2 days you have finished the book and they're not coming back for another 1 week. He said then when they bring you provision, they will take it. They will take your provision and bring. Here you are feeding me like I'm at home. I have a bed. There is air conditioner in my room. I watch TV. And on weekends, you let us play game. It's like, why do I want to fight here? There's no reason. So, information. Once he saw that picture of what was happening, or those pictures of what was happening in his brain, he came to the place where he said, no, I can't live like this. So help me. One morning, they live around the area where our rehab used to be. So I walk. That's my exercise. I walk in the mornings. 5:30 a.m., I leave my house and I'm walking. And as I'm approaching, I'm hearing a megaphone preaching the gospel. So I'm like, preachers on the rise for this our area. I turned the corner and it's my young man preaching. I broke down and started crying. What? He said, yeah. So we run a Christian rehab. From day one, we're nudging you towards God. Don't get me wrong. We have Muslims being brought to our rehab. We have people of no faith. So we tell the ones who say, agnostics, we can help, but atheists, we can't help. The ones who say there's no God. We tell them all we can help you with is detoxification. Because if you don't have a higher power that you feel an allegiance to, we can't help you. So they bring me Muslims and I tell them, hey, your faith requires you to pray 5 times a day. You see this rehab? I must see you 5 times at those times, hitting your head on the ground and praying. You must engage your spirituality while you are here. Otherwise, we can't help you.